Hey, welcome to another episode of What's That All About? Um, I don't know if you read the thumb, but this is about basically numbers that kill. And it's no joke. Um, it's kind of really got a life of its own now. And I don't know if you've heard of it. I had never heard of this. So just adding it to my long, ever growing list of urban legends that I'm going to have to learn more about as time goes on. So I'm going to just begin and pick my way through this. It's creepy, I warn you. When Mobitel was contacted, now this is the company that is the originator of the number that I'm going to discuss with you first, okay? They were contacted for comment, and all they said was, "We have no comment to make. We don't discuss individual numbers." Now, as you know from, unless you don't know, I did an episode on the number 13. You know, Friday the 13th, 13, everything like kind of surrounding 13, like the legend of the unluckiness of it, or why people are so superstitious about it. Anyway, numbers have a lot of significance to people. For example, I mean, hotels, most actually, hotels with more than 13 floors will leave 13 off of their elevator. Some don't even do a room number 13. I actually, in most of the hotels, even hotels that just have rooms one, two, three, like even if they do have, like, say 15 rooms, well, there's no room 13. So, anyway, the same can actually be said for phone numbers, apparently. And in Bulgaria, there was a number that has since been suspended forever. You'll see why. After the company observed a pattern. Ooh, patterns. And the pattern was that the owners of this number, all of them, died. Okay. And the cursed number is this. I'm putting it up on the screen. I'm not going to say it. I almost feel like it's like Candyman. Like if you say it too many times, then something bad will happen or something. I don't know. Again, that's another superstition that I have. I watched way too many horror movies. All right. The first owner of the number that I just showed you was actually the CEO of the issuing company Mobitel himself, and his name is Vladimir Grajnov. I'm not sure if I'm saying that anywhere near right, but anyway, he was only 48 years old, and he was ravaged by an aggressive form of cancer in 2001. Now, here's the interesting thing. This all happened within a year. In the year 2000, the millennium, he was checked out health-wise. CEOs have a tendency to do that. A lot of companies want to make sure their CEOs are up to snuff and all this stuff. So anyway, he was cleared. Bill of health, perfect. He was not a blemish on a lung, not any kind of anything in his blood work, nothing. Perfect. He was in great shape. Other than the mustache, I mean, I don't know. Other than Tom Selleck, I'm not sure I'm ever gonna enjoy a good mustache. But oh no, and Sam Elliott. Oh yeah, he's got to have one. You know, exactly right. Oh, anyway, Wade Garrett. That's from Roadhouse, a classic. If you're not aware. Anyway, moving on. Okay, the odd thing about this is that the rumors started to swirl that he actually was assassinated by a rival colleague, not even another business, but it seems like the thing is, he was known for his what do you call it? His honest business practices. He didn't have an enemy in the world. Everyone respected him. His colleagues respected him. All his employees said that he was just wonderful as a boss. And at the time of his death, no one made any connection between the unusualness of the horrible cancer that basically took over his entire body in less than a year. And the phone number that wasn't made until later. because as time went on, as the number changed hands, wow, with the sudden ends and violent ends that these people met, oh my God. Okay, after Vladimir died of cancer, assassination of cancer, the number was taken up by a mafia member by the name of Konstantin Dimitrov, who was also killed. He was 2003 by an assassin. Okay. He actually was only 31 years old. He had been at a luxurious upscale restaurant in Amsterdam with his fashion model girlfriend, and a lone gunman approached and just opened fire. The girlfriend survived. She had superficial wounds, but he died immediately, and he had the phone in his hand. It was said he had the phone in his hand, either making a phone call or doing a text. Anyway, now they say the rumor is that the gunman was from a Russian mafia that was jealous of him. What the hell? God, no honor among thieves, I guess, right? Okay, so then the third man who took up the number, which I still can't believe at this point, that's 2 down. Third person was another Konstantin, believe it or not, but his last name was Dijlev. I'm not sure if I got that right, but he was a real estate agent that appeared to be living a double life. Now, an estate attorney, oh my God, an estate agent, I am having one of those days. Just started raining, and I'm sorry, it just threw me. It was like a beautiful day, and now it's raining. Wow, ADD much? And he was a prolific cocaine trafficker by night, apparently. So this guy who had it, he's the third guy to have this number, and he had a lot of secrets of his own. Ironically enough, he was gunned down. Actually, the picture I'm showing you, he was gunned down in front of an Indian restaurant, but they couldn't even show his face because it was like gone. But anyway, he just laid in a pool of blood, which is just horrible. But after Dijlev, the murder of him, he was the third owner, like I said, the supposedly cursed phone number was rendered dormant while the police conducted an investigation. Now, they found out a lot about the smuggling rings that were going on with the other mafia people and all that stuff. So then they were coming close to an end with the investigation, and they reactivated the number. Yeah, you couldn't sell that number instead of somebody buying it. So nobody wanted anything to do with it. So Mobitel indefinitely suspended it. So there it goes. But here is another very strange and uncomfortable fact. The idea of cursed numbers is nothing new, apparently. Okay. At the root of a truly eerie set of forwarded emails that began circulating on the internet in 2007, they were called the red numbers, or cursed phone numbers, or death calls, okay? They began making their rounds in Pakistan on April 13th. Can you believe that? Of course you can. In 2007, like I said, and typically they contain warnings not to pick up the calls from certain numbers which appeared on the screen in red. I mean, the only numbers that show up on my phone in red are like spam. And I never answer those anyway. Who does these days? My God, like, you want to hear anybody talking about, love to sell you a lawnmower, But these emails cause widespread panic. And soon the legend had grown so big, as they do, that people were starting to claim to know somebody who died from it, like answering the phone call. It's reminding me of something, and I'll think of it. But anyway, the major mobile phone company that was affected by this was Nokia, okay? And they were even blamed for releasing an official document in Nigeria, supposedly by a released by a company executive who allegedly admitted, are you ready for this? The use of such allegedly admitted to the use of deadly high frequency waves over the phone lines. And he stated this, and this is a direct quote: the use of our mobile phones can cause spontaneous death to the user in certain circumstances. The problem manifests itself when the phone is dialed from certain numbers. These sorts of red number email warnings continued until 2012. Let me just go back for a second before we move on. Manifests itself? That sounds demonic. That sounds like possession of some kind. Just saying. All right. Nokia obviously immediately denied all of this as a complete work of fiction and a hoax and just, people's way of strumming up creative stories and ways to scare people and, just adding, like I've told you about history, just adding to the myth to make it more than it really is. But anyway, there's no other information on it. I don't know. Don't answer a goddamn red number, okay? Just don't answer it. Chuck your phone against the wall. You have to. But as far as the weird deaths pertaining to that number that I showed you, 2 out of the 3 owners quite possibly could have led to they were in the mafia, or they were dealing. One was legitimately in the mafia, and one was leading kind of like that double life where I couldn't think of it or say it right, but he was a real estate agent that was working also as a cocaine trafficker. So, their deaths seem like almost inevitable. But the CEO, I totally believe he was assassinated by some kind of aggressive radiation that was used on him. I don't know. It's too strange. Oh, I thought of it. The movie that I'm thinking of is The Ring. But I think it's a VHS tape. It's on a DVD. I know that. So, because that would have been not weird enough. But it's like you watch the VHS tape and then like 7 days later you die or something. This is like the phone thing. Okay. And it would have bothered me if I couldn't think of it. But anyway, that is the creepy, freaky, deaky story of these red numbers. So just do me a favor. The 8 number is gone, so we don't have to worry about that. And as long as you don't answer any red numbers, everything should be just fine. And I'm looking at the time on my video here, and it just crossed the 13-minute line. That is just too much for me. Anyway, I hope until the next time you are staying happy and healthy and stay weird and safe. Just stay wicked safe. And take care. All right. Bye.